Hello and welcome back to the Fruit of Grisaia Yumiko's route. In the last episode, Yuuji continued to fight off the groups of thugs that wanted to abduct or threaten Sakaki Yumiko. However, returning from one such trip, Yuuji found himself relaxing, only to discover that Sakaki had been abducted by the other students of Mihama Academy. And really, they only wanted to hear what was going on between Sakaki and Yuuji. And they came to the conclusion that while Sakaki actually had feelings for Yuuji, Yuuji doesn't seem to have feelings for Sakaki. Let's continue. What on earth is the meaning of this? We simply put matter into practice just as you requested. I'm having a very hard time believing that. I think I explained that the purpose of this charade was to influence Yumiko's feelings by convincing her she was in danger. Yes, that was our understanding. But not only is your pet dog refusing to play his part, he is sabotaging his entire play. We needed him to fail as a bodyguard. Instead, it seems he's flawlessly protecting the girl. Tell me, how is that supposed to turn Yumiko's loyalty toward her family? She's obviously going to get attached to that dog of yours instead. We've carried out your strategy to the letter. That said, we aren't an acting troupe or a detective agency. Anticipating such subtle psychological details is beyond our capabilities. Coming from a dog of our Akasaka pedigree, that's somewhat less convincing. I doubt there's anything up to and including espionage you're not capable of. In any case, I can no longer trust you with this matter. Remove that Kasami Yuuji of yours from this operation immediately and notify him to stay out of this. Understood. What was that? It's exactly as I said. You heard me just fine, didn't you? The return call from JB I'd been waiting for has finally arrived, but instead of the information I wanted, she's brought me a whole new world of trouble. I'll repeat that, just in case you didn't quite catch it the first time. Kasami Yuuji, you've been removed from the role of Sakaki Yumiko's bodyguard. As of this moment, you are not to involve yourself with this operation in any way. Was that clear enough for you? Yeah. I don't have the slightest clue what's going on here. First, they dumped the job of guarding my classmate on me without even providing half of the details. Now they cancelled it just as abruptly, even ordering me to stay out of the matter entirely. You're not going to tell me the reason? That's correct, not for this operation. JB? No, you can butter me up all you want, but it's not happening this time. There are some complicated circumstances involved. I'm sure you noticed that the whole thing was kind of fishy to begin with, yes? Do those circumstances have something to do with the bizarre behavior of the people attacking Sakaki for the last week? Listen, I just told you I can't answer. No matter how you look at it, their attack plan is just absurd. They're unbelievably sloppy and they don't learn from their mistakes. Almost as if they're handicapping themselves. It's completely unnatural in every respect. Look here, Yuuji. Also, you just told me not to involve myself with this operation going forward. Seems a little overblown to refer me to guarding Sakaki as an OP. As an op, wouldn't you say? Come on, JB. I can't tell you anything more, but I will confirm that you have been officially ordered not to involve yourself with this operation any further. I see. So there really is something worthy of being called an operation going on here. I'm hanging up now. Thanks, JB. I love you. You really need to work on your timing with that line. With this grumpy farewell, she abruptly hangs up on me. After gazing at the cell phone, it emits a droning dial tone for a moment. I snap the device shut and slide it back into my breast pocket. There's no doubt that someone's arranging these threatening movements in Sakaki's vicinity. I'm fairly confident that it's not a simple matter of some group of criminals looking to carry her off for some financial objective. This is clearly something much more complicated. But at the current state, all I've got to work on are the scraps of information JB gave me. Worse, I was just pulled off the job itself. Orders from the main office are absolute. I'm no longer Sakaki's bodyguard. That's a fact, and there isn't a thing I can do about it. However, the girl's clearly in some form of danger. I'm not willing to overlook that, no matter what my employer expects of me. Sakaki is not a stranger to me anymore. Not to say that I've developed feelings of the sort that would entertain our voyeuristic dorm mates. She's a classmate and someone I've spent a lot of time with lately, that's all. But at the very least, I don't intend to just abandon the girl when she needs my help. Anyway, an operation, huh? JB is clearly under professional obligation to not divulge the details. By making that so clear, however, she gave me crucial grounds for speculations. Most likely, the decision to remove me was made over JB's opposition, but she couldn't provide any information about that either. In other words, people she can't discuss with me are involved in the planning. The strange behavior of the assailants, my sudden dismissal, and this mysterious operation. Every major clue I have suggests this is going to become a huge pain in the ass. For the time being, I guess I'll just report in to Sakaki. What? When I gave Sakaki the rough outline of the situation, her face fills with a surprisingly clear expression of dismay. It was just decided today. They gave me official notice by phone, so I'm already off the job. I see. Sorry about following you around all this time. It was my job, so I didn't have any choice. Think you can forgive me? There's nothing to forgive, really. Sakaki's tone of voice suggests she couldn't care less about that particular detail at the moment. I'm sure you're aware, Sakaki, but just because I've been pulled from this assignment doesn't mean the threat has passed. From now on, you need to be keeping a watchful eye on your surroundings whenever you go out. Constantly monitor everything that's going on within a 30-meter radius for any signs of danger. Also, I've been removed from my position as a bodyguard, but they didn't restrict me from lecturing her to prepare for future threats. Not that they would have approved if I asked for information, of course. That's part of the reason I didn't press JB too hard for specific details. So that's the basic outline, but Sakaki? Huh? That's no good. You really need to listen to me this time, alright? Or after all, next time something happens, you're going to be the one protecting yourself. I suppose so. I patiently repeat my self-defense lecture from the top. Not sure if the girl's actually listening this time, but she certainly got a serious expression on her face. Seems to be thinking something over very intently. That's all I have to say. Huh? I finished my explanation. Deciding to wrap this up for the moment, I look straight into Sakaki's eyes and continue. From now on, we'll be back to just classmates. Sakaki doesn't offer a clear reaction. Far from typical. Deciding not to stretch this out, I turn my back on her and begin to walk toward my room. At a bare minimum, I've told her what to watch out for. She'll probably be on guard for a while, and I'm planning to keep an eye on her from a greater distance than before, providing coincidental help when necessary. In some respect, this should actually make it easier for me to take action compared to when I was specifically acting as a close protection bodyguard. I don't know if JB read this far ahead when she dropped those hints over the phone, but for the moment I think I've reached a respectable compromise solution that doesn't violate the letter of my orders. But my satisfaction proves short-lived. Wait! Just as I'm taking my second step, she calls out to me from behind. When I turn back, Sakaki is still facing me. She stands with her legs spread wide, her head hanging slightly, not far enough to hide the intense, anguished expression on her face. Both of her hands are clenched tightly into trembling fists. 10 odd seconds of silence pass before she finally opens her mouth to continue. Kasami-kun, you said you were protecting me because it was your job, didn't you? Yep, that I did. I see, alright, in that case. She swallows softly, then looks me in the eye. I'll employ you as a bodyguard. And just like that, Sakaki Yumiko's fired right back with a complete surprise of her own. Say what? Didn't you hear me the first time? Then I'll repeat myself. Taking a page out of a certain shaggy-headed blonde's book, Sakaki repeats herself, clearly enunciating every syllable. I want to employ you as Sakaki Yumiko's bodyguard. This is about the last thing I was expecting. Didn't Sakaki hate having me following around her all the time? To be sure, she softened up noticeably over the last week or so. When I was lightly wounded in the course of duty as her bodyguard, she even showed some honest concern on my behalf. That said, the girl always had fundamental problems with the nature of my protections. I approached this on the assumption she disapproved of being guarded in the first place. Are you serious? Surely you noticed by now that I'm not much of a comedian by nature. Under the circumstances, I couldn't help wondering. But anyway, I'm pretty damn expensive. You sure about this? I don't waste my money normally, so I have plenty of savings. And even if that wasn't true, a certain someone ensures I don't want much of anything. Perhaps because it's not money she earned herself, Sakaki's tone of voice takes a hint on self-ridicule. At any rate, it seems perfectly clear that this is no joke. She really means it. Alright then, I'll accept that request. I see. Thank you. In that case, I'd like to resume your previous duties immediately, if you don't mind. Compared to a minute before, Sakaki's expression seems to have regained a bit of vigor. You're alright with me approaching this the same way as before? Yes. Why wouldn't I be? Well, I'd be fundamentally trying to be aware of your movements at all times, even when you're doing things generally regarded as shameful or embarrassing. Just wondering if that's really alright with you. I'd appreciate a little restraint on that front. Seems she really has gotten a bit of her spirit back. In any case, just keep things as they were, that's all I'm asking. Immediately after throwing these words in my direction, Sakaki turns away and begins stomping loudly up the stairs. Probably headed to the rooftop again, I guess. Judging from the flow of that conversation, I think it would be best to give her a little time to herself. Sneaky Amane is sneaky. For the time being, I suppose we'll resume this afternoon. Half of a smirking female face pokes out from around the corner in a clearly deliberate way. Tehehehe. Amane? Well, I was really on pins and needles there for a while, but in the end things seem to be heading in a good direction. What a relief! Were you eavesdropping the whole time? How very rude. This is a sheer coincidence. A few words happened to fall into my ears. I was passing by, so I couldn't help but listen to them. Right, Satyan? Yes, this was a coincidence. There's no other way to describe it. Even Sachi. Maybe it was a coincidence that they were passing by, but I think listening to the entire conversation may have had something to do with their personal curiosity. What with the way they kept striking up bizarre conversations about Sakaki the other day, I've got the distinct feeling these people are up to something, especially Amane. But seriously, Sakaki-san's got an unexpectedly bold side, doesn't she? Big sis for surprise. You really shouldn't keep playing up your age like that, even as a gag. You'll get wrinkles. Shut up, you! Okay, never mind me. I guess you're her exclusive private bodyguard now. Sounds kinda nice, am I right? I detect a lewd scent in the air. Lewd. Yuuji is lewd, although I don't really get the details. Every last one of you was listening in. I felt some doubts in this regard before, but could it be that these people have too much time on their hands? I've shared dorms with female colleagues before, but they use their off days studying intensely or throwing themselves into personal training, just like everyone else. By comparison, I can't help thinking these girls suffer from a chronic lack of productive uses for their time. You people can think whatever you want, but the fact is Sakaki's got some very complicated personal circumstances that warrant protection. It's not something you should be laughing. Yes, we know, but just for your information, Lord Know-It-All, there are a few personal circumstances here that even you don't know about. Say what? You're saying the intelligence I've gathered on Sakaki is incomplete? That's highly interesting. The moment I speak those words, 4 sets of eyes simultaneously narrow to reproachful slits, overflowing with pure scorn. They're the eyes of people who've just lost all respect for someone. Okay, what's with the look? I'm getting the feeling this intelligence might never fall into your hands, Yuuji. In these matters, Kasami-san has left me deeply disappointed. No, even despairing would be an exaggeration. Well, what are you gonna do? Only chance one of those guys who just rolls around through life sticking it in any hole that presents itself, right, Yuuji? That's right. Yuuji's a big stupid carrot. Carrot? Huh? Well, yeah, I mean, you stick carrots into holes, right? Oh, Michiru-sama. Michiru-sama, please come to your senses. Wow, quite the bomb to drop out of nowhere. Hold on. We're talking about Yuuji right now, aren't we? Why you guys start making fun of me the minute carrots come up? Michiru-sama. First it's bananas, now carrots. Jiru's a bold spirit herself, ain't she? Mookie! Oh, shut up. Wait, where did Yuuji go? Having successfully passed through the storm of frenzied, meaningless excitement, I made my way back to the lobby alone. Oh. Sinking deeply into the sofa, I think back over my conversation with Sakaki. Sure didn't see that one coming. I'm still having a hard time wrapping my head around it. I mean, For the first couple of days there, the girl was so furious about being guarded that she dusted off her treasured sword, a legendary box cutter of wrath. Maybe she just realized that she's in real danger here. When threatened by a mysterious menace, it's only natural to grow uncertain and fearful. At present, I suppose I'm the only means she has to relieve that anxiety a little. From that perspective, I guess it's reasonable enough. Sakaki is basically a rational person. I can understand how she'd swallow her pride and make this choice after carefully weighing the alternatives. Whatever the case may be, I now have her approval. That should make it easier to continue protecting her as I planned from the start. No need to look a gift horse in the mouth. Since she hired me, I'll have to earn my salary. Pushing myself off the sofa, I glanced down at my watch. There's still plenty of time before Sakaki will be heading out to draw her pictures. Guess I'll go run for a while. The threats are getting steadily stronger, and I'm not getting back up. That just means I'll have to intensify my training to match. After a light warm-up, I slap my hands together in the entrance, then push my way out the front door at a jog. And today, as usual, our mysterious friends make their appearance. However, something's clearly different this time. From the moment they spot me, the men seem oddly flustered. Many of them appear to have gotten cold feet. One or two take out their cell phones and try to contact someone. Hey, why is that guy still here? I didn't hear anything about this. They said the guard would be gone. Wonder why they heard a thing like that. I got a feeling this might have something to do with JB's evasiveness earlier. Whatever the case, the men take much longer than usual to approach me. Screw it! Just go! Take the asshole out already! Ah! Shit! This wasn't what we signed up for! Hey, let's get the hell out of here! We can't take him straight on! When they finally managed to spur themselves to action, their strategy was as confused as always. Even more so, really. None of them seemed really eager to take the lead. They're so sloppy you'd think they were trying to fail. Are they gone? Sakaki calls out timidly from behind me, slowly opening her eyes. Yeah, but something was definitely off this time. Huh? Sakaki looks up at me with an expression of pure bewilderment. These constant attacks must be causing the girl more than enough worry. Adding their unclear suspicious motives to the equation would probably only upset her further. Does that have something to do with me hiring you? Hard to say. It sounded like that might be the case, but there's no way to know if they were trying to mislead us. After brushing off a little dust, I indicate let's go with a slight movement of my head. As we slowly climb up the slope leading away from the riverbank, I think long and hard about our enemies. I just can't figure out their objective. It's obviously connected to Sakaki, but their attacks are far too sloppy for this to be a real kidnapping job. And that phrase they used again today, this isn't what we signed up for. They clearly knew I was taken off the job, which suggests a connection to Michiaki, my original client in this matter. Just what is this? Still unsatisfied, I clamber my way up to the road. Across from the setting sun, the world's already grown dark and murky. Something in the air suggests an approaching storm. Might have to take countermeasures before the rain starts to fall in earnest. And that's where we'll end this episode. So, we shall see how things are going. Well, now that Sakaki have sort of proved that she has admitted that she has a need for help, and Yuuji seemed to do an excellent job at that, obviously, since that's why she hired him. Also, she admitted to having feelings for him, to the other girls, not to Yuuji himself. So yeah, we definitely got a lot of things going for the coming episode, but until then, take care.